Most people don't fail because they lack effort. They fail because they're trying too hard. More affirmations. More effort. More control. And that's exactly why nothing changes. Napoleon Hill warned about this almost 100 years ago, but most people misunderstood what he meant. What if the reason things aren't flowing into your life isn't because you're doing too little, but because you're forcing too much? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why letting go is not giving up, and how to attract what's already yours without exhausting yourself. Here's a hard truth most people don't want to hear: effort does not create attraction. Alignment does. Napoleon Hill never taught blind hustle. He taught definiteness of purpose combined with inner harmony. But somewhere along the way, people turned his message into try harder, push more, force results. And when results don't come, they blame themselves. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, you're thinking positively, you're visualizing, you're working on yourself, but life still feels blocked, this video is for you. Napoleon Hill observed something crucial: people don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because their subconscious beliefs are in conflict with that desire. You can consciously want success, while unconsciously believing you don't deserve it. It's dangerous, it requires suffering, or it will make you lose love or safety. This inner conflict creates resistance. And resistance is felt as overthinking, anxiety, impatience, forcing outcomes, and trying to control timing. Hill called this state lack of harmony. Modern neuroscience calls it cognitive emotional dissonance. Different language, same mechanism. Here's what happens in your brain when you try too hard. Effort driven by fear activates the stress response. Stress narrows perception. It tells your nervous system something is wrong. And when your nervous system believes something is wrong, it goes into protection mode. Protection mode does not attract. It contracts. That's why opportunities don't feel visible, intuition feels blocked, synchronicities stop happening, and everything feels heavy. You're not failing. You're signaling lack. Napoleon Hill understood this intuitively. Science confirms it neurologically. So what does it mean to attract what's already yours? It means this: your desires are not random. They arise from your potential. But they can only materialize when your identity, beliefs, and nervous system are aligned with receiving. Attraction happens when you stop proving, stop chasing validation, and stop forcing timing. Letting go does not mean doing nothing. It means acting without desperation, choosing without fear, and trusting without passivity. Hill called this faith. Not religious faith, psychological faith. A calm inner knowing. Let me tell you what nobody wants to admit: sometimes the most productive thing you can do is pause. Our culture glorifies hustle. Move faster. Do more. Never stop. But nature doesn't work that way. Seeds don't grow faster when you dig them up every day to check on them. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by forcing the cocoon open. There are seasons of action and seasons of integration. Hill knew this. He wrote about the importance of rest, reflection, and what he called the silent ripening period. When you're constantly doing, you never create space for receiving. Your hands are too full of effort to accept what's trying to come to you. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that your best ideas don't come when you're grinding? They come in the shower, while walking, right before sleep. That's not coincidence. That's your brain shifting out of survival mode into creative receptivity. The paradox is this: the universe rewards presence, not pressure. When you learn to move from a place of inner fullness rather than outer lack, your actions become magnetic instead of exhausting. Here's a simple 3-step realignment practice. Step 1. Remove urgency. Ask yourself, if this desire was guaranteed, how would I feel right now? Sit with that feeling. Your nervous system needs to experience safety first. Step 2. Identify the hidden effort. Notice where you're forcing, checking constantly, comparing, seeking signs, over-planning. Awareness dissolves resistance. Step 3. Replace control with coherence. Every morning for 21 days, repeat calmly, what's meant for me doesn't require force. I allow alignment to lead me. This is not affirmation. This is nervous system retraining. Now here's where most people get confused. How do you know when to act and when to wait? Simple. Learn to distinguish between inspired action and compensatory action. Compensatory action feels like urgency without clarity, movement to avoid discomfort, proving something to yourself or others, checking, controlling, micromanaging, exhaustion that never leads to satisfaction. Inspired action feels like clear pull towards something specific, energy that sustains itself, curiosity without attachment to outcome, timing that feels natural, even if inconvenient, peace, even when the action is challenging. Here's a quick test. Before taking any action, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't? Or because something inside me genuinely wants to move in this direction? If the answer is fear, wait. If the answer is genuine pull, move. Napoleon Hill called this definiteness of purpose backed by burning desire. Not anxious desire. Burning desire. There's a difference. One depletes. The other ignites. When effort drops, your perception expands. You notice conversations, ideas, timing, and subtle impulses. This is when attraction feels effortless. Not because you stopped acting, but because you stopped fighting yourself. Napoleon Hill didn't teach magic. He taught inner alignment before outer action. That's the part most people ignore. So how do you know when you've shifted from forcing to allowing? There are specific markers. Your body will tell you before your mind does. Signs of alignment. You feel lighter, even when circumstances haven't changed yet. Decisions become easier, almost obvious. You stop obsessing over how, and trust when unexpected doors open without you chasing them. People, resources, and opportunities show up at the right time. You experience more flow states during work. Rest doesn't feel like giving up. It feels strategic. You are present in conversations instead of mentally planning your next move. Most importantly, you stop needing external validation to know you're on the right path. There's an internal compass that feels steady, even in uncertainty. This is what Hill meant by faith. Not blind optimism. Embodied certainty. Your nervous system recognizes truth before your conscious mind does. When you're aligned, you know. Not because you're perfect, but because you're coherent. Let's be honest, you're not going to feel aligned every single day. Doubt will come back. Fear will whisper. Old patterns will try to reclaim you. That's not failure. That's being human. Here's what to do when you notice yourself slipping back into force mode. Step 1. Name it without shame. Say out loud or write down, "I notice I'm trying to control again." No judgment. Just observation. Shame keeps you stuck. Awareness creates choice. Step 2. Return to your body. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Breathe slowly for 2 minutes. This isn't woo-woo. It's vagal tone regulation. You're telling your nervous system, we're safe. We can relax. Step 3. Ask a redirecting question. Instead of "Why isn't this working?" ask, "What is this moment teaching me?" Or "What would ease feel like right now?" Questions shape perception. Frustrated questions create frustrated realities. Curious questions open pathways. Step 4. Reconnect with your original desire. Not the goal. The feeling underneath it. Why did you want this in the first place? What essence were you seeking? Peace? Freedom? Connection? Purpose? You can access that essence now, before the outcome arrives. That's the secret Hill never explicitly stated but deeply understood. The feeling is the point. The manifestation is just the evidence. When you prioritize the feeling over the form, you stop blocking your own blessings. If this message created resistance, pause. That resistance is information. It's showing you where control replaced trust. Comment below, let go if this resonated. And if you want to go deeper into subconscious reprogramming, neuroplasticity, and mental alignment, subscribe to this channel. What's already yours doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be allowed.